Welcome back to What's Up. I'm Mano Myers.
And I'm Lovedale.
I'm Ine Fabe.
And in this part of the show, we're going to be chopping up trending topics and dissecting them. So
guys, what is your thoughts on this, right? Drama.
Hit me.
So Tyler Perry puts out this post where he shows all these scripts that he's written for all these different shows, right? Mm-hmm. And he's trying to be super inspirational, like, you know, about work ethic and that sort of thing. And he has this follow-up post where he posts his writer's room. The gag is, he's the only writer in the room.
So I don't know if you know this, but all shows on television have a writer's room. And most of the time there are 10 people, 12, whatever, that write all these television shows, right? Well, I have no writer's room. Nobody writes any of my work. I write it all. Why am I telling this? I wrote all of these scripts by myself in 2019. What's my point? Work ethic.
He got mad backlash, right?
The
People
irony.
were just like...
Yeah, I saw that. People were ripping him up. They were ripping him off all
like
over the
Twitter
TL.
literally went into meltdown. You know what I mean? Like literally.
They
like,
couldn't
Twitter
hack
went into
him.
meltdown.
Yeah, what were you thinking? Like, what was going through your mind?
I feel like it's all about wanting to give people an opportunity and putting people on, but there's a particular way how you do it. I feel like it came across a bit like arrogant.
Okay, yeah.
And I feel like as though within an industry where so much are trying to get their foot in the door, you're at a certain height, I would say, or pinnacle in your career where you could help kind of pave that way for them. But I feel it was...
I mean, I hear what you're saying, right? But Tyler Perry, like, I love Tyler.
Yes.
He has a very specific brand when it comes to his films, the way
Yes.
he writes them. I mean, you can kind of tell that he does it all himself, which, you know, hey, however you feel about it is however you feel about it, but it's his show, it's his studio, it's his money. He can do what he wants. I'm really sorry. And I'm sure in future he'll open it up and things like that for other people to write. And I know he obviously has had productions where other people have written, but if he feels like that's how he wants to express his talent and he's fortunate enough to now be in that place where he can do that, then that's fine. And he came up, let's not forget, he was living in his car at some point, writing all his shows, and that's literally how he came up. So I can't knock him for doing that at all. Like, I cannot.
You've got a good point. It is Tyler Perry Studios, produced by, written by, directed by Tyler. But,
starring Tyler Perry.
You know what I'm saying?
Who, like,
Yeah, but I have to say, I
Literally.
feel like he absolutely does put people on. If you look at all his plays, if you look at his movies, it is full of representation of
so
our
many people in the
Absolutely.
black industry
It's
got
so
their
many
start
people.
working with
Respect
him,
about Tyler.
Taraji, like loads of
Idris
people.
Elba, all these people. So if you look, obviously he's just built this new studio, which is like so epic
And he
in
even named
itself.
them after
Yeah.
like all of
Yes.
the sound stages are named after like, you know,
Right.
influential black
Exactly.
people in Hollywood.
And it's obviously built in Atlanta, which we know is Black City
On a
Central.
former Confederate.
Yes,
Come
right?
on.
So he's given so many opportunities. So I think sometimes, especially our community, we need to be careful. Like, it's
Yeah.
not fair to
Yes.
just keep knocking
You
people
know,
down.
like, every
He's
time
doing
come for
big
people.
things. He's doing big things for our community. He's representing our community very well. And there's something to be said that he's got, I think it's about 3 #1 shows currently.
Wow.
So obviously he's
Yeah.
doing something right.
Indeed, I agree with you. But do you feel like he can be a little bit over-reliant on like similar faces and similar genres of movies, just telling the same story? It's
But
like the
isn't
same
that
story
all of
being told in
Hollywood?
different- I guess
Like,
so.
if it's not broke, don't fix it.
But he did say he's obviously with these, because he's got his new studio, there are new shows that are coming out of the studio,
Yeah.
and there will be opportunities for writers to write on those new shows because they're going to be different genres that will
Yeah.
kind of move away
Yeah.
from his typical brand. But this particular brand that he has at the moment is for a particular
And
audience.
exactly,
Audience,
like you said, it's
absolutely.
a particular style of his stuff. So when he's doing other things and, you know, other people are leading, then I'm sure they'll have loads more writers in there.
Oh, for sure.
Good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I think we're going to leave that one there. I think Tyler's well all right. We're going to leave that one there. But just jumping into this one. So what are your guys' thoughts on this Harry and Meghan roller coaster? Like, what is going on? I feel like it's hot, it's cold, it's up, it's down,
It's a whole thing. Like,
yeah.
Oh my
It's like, where
gosh.
do you even start with it?
That's the thing. I think it's just so much drama.
Literally, I feel like it's 2020 for God's sake.
Do you understand?
You know what I mean? Like,
Look, I'm going to say something, you know what, because my girl Meghan, she can't catch a break and my heart goes out to her. I feel like it's really sad like they've had to actually abdicate, or I don't know if that's the right terminology, but like literally leave the royal family just so she can have peace of mind.
Yeah.
I respect Harry so much because you can tell like, wow, he's really in love with this woman, and like at every chance he's put her first. For him to then, you know, turn down his title and all of that just to be with his wife, I feel like that is so beautiful and I love that. But then a part of me wonders, like, if they'd stayed in the royal family, like, do you not think it would have been better for them to try and make changes from the inside out instead of just like, you know, walking away from everything?
Do you know something? I think things are not going to change overnight.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's been, so it would take a lot of work, but there's something to be said of how much is too much. And if you see Meghan, it's constantly the face of negative press.
Demonized.
But then that's the press though. So do you not think, I mean, I understand maybe the royal family could have done more to like protect her and step forward, and they didn't.
Yes.
Which would be why she's like, well, if you're not going to have my back, then I'll just walk away. But then, again, if that's coming from the press, do you think that they need to go so far as to walk away?
I think when something is, I'm talking from this perspective of Harry, once I see something is impacting my family in a negative light, whatever that is getting cut off. And I think as a man, that is your responsibility
100%.
to protect your family, to protect your wife,
yeah.
protect your child. She's just had a baby.
Yeah.
You can imagine there's so much going on emotionally, the hormones, everything. What she could take before even having the baby, she might not be able to take now.
Even from a mental health perspective as well.
Thank you, you know? And so I think he has to do what he has to do. And people are acting like she's dragging him out of the royal family. Harry has been rebellious from day one.
To be honest,
you know?
to be honest.
So much.
And I was going to say, like, to be honest, you know, Meghan, she can't come and kill herself because rest in peace, Diana, she's not here with us. And it's, you know, the same track. So I can understand Harry actually just taking it very seriously. Like, he lost his mother to this madness. He's not trying to lose his wife and his family.
Absolutely. And I think it all formulated in the same sort of way, you know?
Yes.
I think it is a bit history sort of repeating itself, so I feel like they're just being cautious. And I think this break that they've taken away from this UK media and just the press on a whole, it's nice, you know what I mean? I feel like it just needs to stop, you know? And that's just my final thoughts on it.
But do you know what the funny thing that makes me laugh is that everyone was criticising her while she's in there.
Yeah.
Now they decide to leave. They're still. It's like you can't
can't
make
can't
them
win.
happy.
You actually can't win.
They just.
If she stays, she's doomed. If she leaves, she's doomed. Yeah.
So they
Can't
just
catch
need
a
to
break.
go be happy and go be great.
In Canada.
But and still come back to the
The-
UK. I feel like I know people say the royal family is not relevant, but I think it does do a lot for like things like tourism. So I do think it is an important structure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
But yeah, maybe it just needs to be modernised a bit. Hope you enjoyed this episode of What's Hot. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and don't forget to share it with all your friends. See you next time.